Life is stressful. Work, school, friends, family, health issues, the list of things that can cause you stress is never ending. But there are ways that you can manage your stress so you can get on with your life. And that's what I'm going to be looking at in this video. Hi, my name is Sorcha. I'm a nutritionist and healthy lifestyle blogger from Ireland, and on this channel I help make healthy living simple because it doesn't have to be complicated. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload any more videos. It's so important to have a stress release. That's something that you do to relieve stress. And it's also important to know that something that might work for one person might not necessarily work for you. So don't be annoyed if maybe you've tried meditation and it doesn't work, but for your friend it is amazing. That's fine. Everybody's different. For me, when I want to relax, I either dance or I have a warm bath or I read a book or I watch a good movie, or if it's something that's bothering me, I would talk to somebody about it. That's how I relieve stress. That works for me. It might not work for you, or it might work for you. When you're stressed, the last thing you probably think about doing is exercising. But exercise is a great way to relieve stress. Number one, it releases a hormone called endorphins, and they make you feel good. So they're going to help you relieve stress. Also, exercise has been linked to helping people with things like anxiety, depression. So it is really good for your mental health overall. Things like Pilates and yoga are great as well for relaxing you while doing exercise. So you get the endorphins, but you also relax. But team sports like football, basketball, running, swimming, anything that gets your body moving is a great exercise for you. So physically it's good for you, and also it helps relieve stress. So mentally it's good for you as well. In my personal opinion, nothing beats a good massage when you are stressed. Some people don't like massages, and that's fine. I love getting massages, and it helps you relax. So if you're really stressed, sometimes it can make your muscles very tight, especially up around this area, like your shoulders. And if you're sitting at a desk all day as well, it can tighten up there. So getting a massage, especially around that area, can be so good to help you relieve stress, because that's kind of where a lot of people hold their stress, is up in their shoulders. A warm bath is also great, especially if you have got sore muscles. You could put things in like Epsom salts are amazing. Just saying, if you are somebody who goes to the gym or whatever and you get sore muscles, Epsom salts are a must have. But you can get lovely scented things like lavender is naturally, it helps you relax. You can get lavender things that you can put in your bath. Loads of different potions and lotions or whatever. But even just a normal warm bath will help you relax. Deep breathing exercises are also great. So if you breathe in for 4 and then breathe out for 8. So if you start getting really anxious about something, or you feel like everything's coming at you at one go, just stop and take a breath. And it will kind of reset your body a little bit. So that's also a great thing. And then, of course, there is meditation. It's not for everybody, but don't knock it until you've tried it. It did help me a little bit, but sometimes I find it hard to kind of switch off my mind. And I know people who've been doing a meditation for a long time will tell you that it does take a while for you to be able to do that. But meditation, you don't have to sit like with your legs crossed and make noises, like humming noises. Just sitting with your eyes closed and breathing, that's meditating. Also, you can get meditation apps like Calm is great. If you find it hard to sleep, they do like sleep stories, which I find really good. But they also do meditating music, or the talking meditation. I can't think of what it is, but you know, the meditation where people are like talking to you. So Try it out. It might work for you, and you might be pleasantly surprised, and then you've got another way to relieve stress, and it might not work for you, and you're no worse off. Sometimes going on a social media hiatus is a good idea. That means just switching off. Now, I would recommend definitely before you go to sleep, not going on social media. I personally, I know you're not supposed to go on your phone at all, but I like watching like a movie or something before I go to sleep. Also, like I read a book as well, but if I go on social media before I go to sleep, like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I like it could be 2 hours after when I thought I was going to go to sleep and I'm still on it. So switching off social media for a while can get you kind of more in the present. And also, if you maybe are finding that a lot of things on social media are making you feel very stressed because there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, you might maybe want to switch it off and just kind of take a break, relax, and reset. So social media is great. It keeps us in contact with people. It's a great way to make friends. It's a great way to stay up to date. But sometimes it can just be too much and kind of information overload. And that's when you need to kind of take a step back and switch it off for a little bit. The food you eat does contribute to your stress. So eating a lot of high processed foods, sugary foods, it also causes a lot of stress internally, so inflammation in your body, which is stressful for your body. Now, when you're stressed, you release cortisol. It's a stress hormone. Short term, it's fine. It's your body's kind of way of getting you out of danger. So I think I used the analogy of a hungry tiger. If you were in like a field with a field, well, yeah, like a field with a hungry tiger, your cortisol levels, your adrenaline would kick in and you would run away so you wouldn't get eaten by the tiger. Now, that's a short term. That's fine. But when that happens, when that cortisol and all kicks in, your body, it's like, right, what do I need right now to get away from this hungry tiger? I don't need the digestive system. I don't really need the immune system. Like things like that. Those systems, they don't get shut down, but they get kind of put in the back seat. Now, short term, that's fine, but long term, that's not going to be good for you because if your immune system's in the back seat, what's going to happen when an infection comes along? If your digestive system's in the back seat, you're going to start getting a lot of digestive issues. That's why keeping your stress levels at a minimum is very important. I also want to talk about emotional and physical hunger. There's a very fine line between them, and it's very difficult to tell when are you actually hungry and when are you just emotional. So the things you need to know, for physical hunger, you'll get hunger cues. Hunger cues would be like your tummy rumbling, hunger pangs, you might feel faint. Obviously, if you haven't eaten for a long time, you'll know it's most likely physical hunger. It comes on over a period of time. It doesn't just come on like that. It comes over a period of time. You're not hungry for a specific food. You're just hungry for food in general. And like once you've eaten that food, you're full, you're satisfied, and you don't feel guilty after eating it. So that's physical hunger. Now, emotional hunger is different because it comes on very quickly. You don't get any hunger pangs or any cues like that. You're hungry for a specific type of food. So if you've had a bad day and all of a sudden all you can think about is ice cream, you're not actually hungry. That's your emotions. Now, obviously, because you're not actually hungry, after you've eaten that full tub of ice cream, you're probably still going to be hungry. You're not going to be full. You're not going to be satisfied because you're trying to fill the wrong hole. Like it's emotional hole. You're trying to fill food. It's not going to work. You might feel guilty afterwards as well because you've eaten a lot of food and you didn't need it. So that's the difference between them. Now, it can be very difficult to tell the difference. And sometimes when you do feel bad about something, you want that ice cream, and that's okay to eat that ice cream. It's not a big deal. But if you find that you're doing it a lot, then you need to kind of think, what's causing me to feel so emotional that I need to eat all the time. And talking to people really does help. So if you have somebody, a friend, a family member, somebody that you talk to, after speaking to somebody, you might figure out why you're doing these things, and it can help. This little bit to the video is specifically for students. So whether you're a college student or secondary school student, if you are doing exams, this is my tips. English. These are my tips to reduce your stress levels, because I don't think it's possible to completely take away the stress, but it is possible to reduce it. The first thing is be organized. For my exams, I had all my subjects written out on pages, and I had all the topics in the subjects in little boxes. So I knew exactly when I studied something, I would tick it off. So I knew what I'd studied and what I hadn't. And I knew what maybe I'd studied a lot of, and maybe I tended to kind of avoid certain topics, but it was a great way so you didn't walk into the exam and be like, oh crap, I forgot to study this poem or this story, whatever. So staying organized like that is great. I know a lot of people do this whole thing where they buy all these highlighters and fancy planners and stuff like that, and then they don't actually do the work. So when you put up these pages, you do need to actually study, so you feel good then when you tick off the little boxes. The next thing is eat healthy. When you're doing your exams, you need to fuel your brain. So you need to eat healthy fats. So that's like oily fish, salmon, tuna, mackerel, sardines, all those. Fiber as well, because healthy gut equals healthy brain. It will help you concentrate more. You'll be able to remember things better, which is always good for exams. So increase your fiber intake, and generally eating good, wholesome food. And then, of course, drink loads of water. Make sure you get your 1.2 to 2 litres a day or more. Take study breaks. These study breaks, you should leave the room that you're studying in altogether. Whether you go for a walk, whether you just sit outside for a while, watch TV, I know if you're studying, to read a book, but if you like reading books, go read a book. Something to take your mind away from the studying. Then, because if you study like cramming, it might work for some people, but generally it isn't good, because you won't really remember any of that information after the exam. And I know you might be thinking, well, I don't need to remember some of this, but you never know when you might need it. So, and another thing is, if you need help, ask for it early on. Don't be ashamed to ask for help, because you will be grateful for it when it comes to the exam. I really struggled with maths, and I mostly what I needed was somebody just to explain it to me, like one to one, and then I got it. And that's the same for a lot of people. Certain people are better at certain subjects and they struggle with others, and that's just because we're all different. So asking for help is not something to be ashamed of. You will benefit from it. So those are my tips for exams. And also, don't quit your hobbies. A lot of people, when they're doing their exams, big exams, they quit everything. They drop out of their clubs, they stop their sports, because it all, like, you have to go to school, to come home, you have to study, that's your life. That's not going to help you, because it's going to make you stressed. And like I mentioned before, having a hobby or a physical activity that you do, it helps relieve stress. And the less stressed you are, the better you're going to be able to concentrate, and the better you're going to be able to retain information. So keep the hobbies up. I hope you liked this video and I hope it gave you a few tips to relax. Please comment below and tell me what you do to relax. Also, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload any more videos.